Independence is not isolation. We are independent in the manner we conduct our affairs, but we are united in the common good for our country. That whatever the judiciary does, whatever the legislature does, whatever the executive does, the common goal is to hold Kenya together and grow Kenya and unite our people. So coming here today, ladies and gentlemen, is another important milestone in the relationship between arms of government. As Parliament, we hold a very, very pivotal duty and responsibility in this country. Because listening to the Chief Justice here, members of Parliament, you can see that when Otienda Amol goes to court, he bows and says, "My Lord, my Ladyship." But here the Chief Justice is saying, "Please consider our budget." So this relationship must be nurtured, must be respected, must be carried with dignity and some delicate growth, to the extent where, when matters concerning us come to you, we don't feel frightened, and when you bring your views and your issues and your requests to us, you don't feel frightened either. Our new constitution has brought us this far, created many structures, including the Supreme Court, commissions, but the cardinal responsibility of holding the pulse of the country was vested in only one institution, Parliament. Article 94 of the Constitution also exclusively vests in Parliament the duty to make laws, to the extent that even the judiciary, when you make your regulations concerning how you run your affairs, they have no force of law until they come to Parliament and they are approved by the arm of the legislature. These checks and balances are what keep us going as a country. I agree with you, Chief Justice, that you need to be resourced. Parliament has heard you, and in the course of our budgeting, we'll continuously be looking at how best we can up your request, but knowing that even we ourselves, and my leadership here can tell you, we never get what we want. You go before MP Atande, who is the chair of budget, anza kizungu mingi, anasema maneno mingi, anasema pesa zimepunguka. Pia PSC anatukata. But we'll strive to make sure that we support you in every way possible to discharge your responsibilities as the judiciary. We've come here to speak to each other. Our relationship has not been without hitches. Our relationship has not been without irritations. No, for every average Kenyan, when you go to court and the court rules in your favor, you come out and say, "Hallelujah, justice has been done." When there's a ruling against you, you find all manner of adjectives to describe the judge and the court in general. So those are human frailties that we must live with. What is important is our commitment to do justice regardless of the situation, regardless of the convenience. I told my members yesterday that we have a duty to do good even when nobody's watching us. Because many people believe that they can only do what is good when they are being watched. With the developments that have taken place, law making is no longer confined within the walls of the legislature. And indeed, when you now look at our new constitution, when the president refers back a legislation from Parliament that he feels he needs changed, he sends you with his proposals. And the Constitution made the threshold so high that it conversely gave the President some legislative authority, because we hardly get 2/3 majority to overturn his reservations. When judges sit and make pronouncements, they create judicial precedents which become law in our application of the law. So even as Article 94 protects us from having exclusive authority to make law, it also gives way to the judiciary and the executive to participate in lawmaking.
We are leaders entrusted with constitutional mandates to serve the public and the public alone. The Constitution reminds us that this mandate comes directly from the people, to be exercised in good faith and with integrity. Our oath of office binds us to defend and protect the public interest. As we serve, we must constantly ask ourselves, are we discharging this duty as the Constitution requires? When disagreements arise and they arise causing harm or inconvenience to the public, we have a duty to come together to resolve them and to prevent the people from bearing the costs of our decisions. This meeting is therefore not about diminishing the power of the people, nor about changing their trust. It is about reaffirming our collective responsibility, ensuring that each of our mandates is exercised with focus, with unity, and unwavering commitment to the best interests of our country. Let me emphasize for clarity that institutional committee does not erode each one of our independence. We have institutional independence and decisional independence. At an institutional level, the arms of government can engage. However, decisional independence must always remain sacrosanct. Therefore, institutional independence and dialogic engagement by the various branches of government are not contradictory, but complementary.
In the African tradition, stability is often symbolized by the three-legged stool, strongly only when all the three legs are firm. So too is our democracy. It stands on the strength of the three co-equal institutions, the executive, legislature, and the judiciary, and one leg is weakened, the entire stool collapses. Our charge, therefore, is to ensure that each arm is strengthened, respected, and supported, for in doing so, we secure the stability and prosperity of our nation. Today's engagement, therefore, is not an isolated event, but a continuation of a journey whose foundations were laid by visionary leadership. My proposal is that we can now go further and let us institutionalize this model of dialogue as part of our democratic practice. Let us envision a time where the speakers of Parliament periodically address the College of Judges and the Chief Justice at the culmination of their term, addresses a joint sitting of Parliament. Such exchanges would not only cement mutual accountability, but also foster deeper respect for our shared constitutional mandate. I would invite the National Assembly to reflect on a new approach to funding the judiciary, one that recognizes justice as a public good, to be financed with the same seriousness as health and national security. For too long, the judiciary has suffered chronic underfunding because of a defective approach to resourcing access to justice. It is time that we embraced a new paradigm, where budget allocation is guided by rational parameters, whether the number of cases filed, that is the cost per case, or the number of judges, or other measurable indicators of judicial workload. Such a framework ensures that resources grow in proportion to the judiciary's burden, moving us away from blanket allocations to principled and predictable model of financing. Just as no nation can secure its future without funding health or security, so too can no democracy thrive without adequately financing justice. Justice is the oxygen of governance. Its financing must reflect this reality.
We serve one public, we are one state, and the constitution that we gave to us sometime in 2010 expects us to work together. That independence does not mean clinching, that does not mean always fighting. That arm's length does not mean working at cross purposes. We can all work together independently without having to fight. That you reminded us, Honorable Speaker, that our Constitution mentions the word consultation and collaboration more than 10 times. And that is what we are here to do today. To consult, to collaborate, to share experiences, but still maintain the independence of our institutions. We are reminded again by our Constitution, Right Honorable Speaker and our Chief Justice, that we serve one public, we are one state, and the Constitution that we gave to us sometime in 2010 expects us to work together. That independence does not mean clinching, that does not mean always fighting. That arm's length does not mean working at cross purposes. The day you discover that only a fool knows everything, that's the beginning of knowledge. Honorable Speaker, it is imagined by members of public and our friends in media that when Parliament goes on recess, we go to holiday, slumber, and the same is imagined when judiciary goes on vacation. That's holiday time. In contrast, Parliament works more during recess. We had a very good training of our officers sometime in 2023, which was offered by our senior-most judges of Supreme Court, judges of Court of Appeal, to our officers. And we remain highly indebted to that kind of cooperation, that our officers can sit and listen, be taught by our judges, so that the judges become faculty which is training our officers. We request, Honorable Speaker, that that collaboration now be anchored in law, now that we have the judiciary bill with us, the Kenya Judicial Economy bill with us before JLAC,